there, Terry. How you
Hey, how
tonight?
are you? I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing good. Can you believe it's 2024?
I can.
You,
I
you
can.
was ready for 2024, huh?
I was. Yes, I definitely was. But Happy New Year.
Push the old year out and let's start with a happy new one, huh?
Yes,
What do
yes.
you do?
So,
What do you do to bring in the new year? You have any tradition, or you parties, or how do you bring in a new year?
usually, lately, since I've been grown, probably sleep.
That's about right, ain't it?
I probably bring it in sleep. Yeah, I usually, make sure that my meal is cooked for my New Year's meal. I usually have my cornbread,
Hmm.
my ribs, my
Okay,
greens, and my black eyed peas.
you gotta have the black eyed peas. That's for sure. That's for sure.
And I just make sure I have all that. And like I said, I try my best to stay woke, but it
Yeah.
never seems to happen.
Yeah,
So,
usually I watch the ball drop on TV.
hmm
The one in New York, and they have a couple good shows.
hmm
It's several of them now. It used to be when I was coming up, you just had one, but now
right.
just about every channel has the New Year bringing
Yeah.
in the New Year, so it's a lot of competition on that. But
Yeah.
I'm excited about 2024. How about you? How do you feel about this year?
I am. I always look forward to every year. I just feel blessed that, I made it to another one and just looking forward to, what changes and the changes that are going to come. And I think my goal this year is to, uh, I guess, be intentional this
Uh
year.
huh.
Whatever I'm doing, I want to be intentional about it. Whether it's intentional of, you know, uh, growing my business or intentional of, making sure I stay close to my family. Whatever I'm doing, I just want it to be intentional. So,
I think the family is probably the most important thing,
mhm,
that you can do almost because
mhm,
especially if you got kids and loved ones, they grow fast. Time
mhm,
grows fast, and we can get so consumed with other stuff that we forget about our
mhm.
families sometimes. And
Yeah.
spending time with your family, that is a good resolution or whatever you want to make is spend more quality time with your family. I can't do anything better than that, I don't think. But
Yeah. Mhm.
a lot of things been going on in town, but I think the few weeks between, after the new year and this time of year, it starts. It's not quite as active, and then things start picking up from here
Mhm.
on. I think, especially in the
Yeah.
springtime when the weather turns a little bit.
Yeah, and with my firm, our CPA firm here, we're very very busy. We're busy from like November and on. Just trying to get ready for the season, doing a lot of planning and a lot of keeping up with the tax laws and things that are coming
Mhm.
down the pike. So we're busy. So it kind of just the holidays and everything just kind of passes by. We try to stay in touch, but it just kind of passes by because we're just really busy now.
Right. I guess I used to think of CPA business as really kind of a tax seasonal big rush type thing, but it's a 365 day a year type business, ain't it? Something going on all the time when you talk about financing and those type.
For as long as I swear there's a couple extra days in that 365. Yeah, because we do more than just obviously taxes. We do bookkeeping, payroll, but this year we've been doing a lot of tax planning for clients, and that's what they really really need now is the planning with the upcoming laws that are changing, especially in 2025. There's going to be a lot of changes because of the new offset. As the administration may change, those old tax laws that they had in place will be expiring,
Mhm.
and the time is 2025, and it's going to be a lot of changes that will impact a lot of businesses. The child tax credit will be, going down to the lower amount of $1,000. There's going to be a lot of changes, and probably a lot of people paying more in taxes. So now is a good time to start that planning for the next couple of years. So yeah.
Yeah. So did the tax brackets actually increase this year? Did it go
Yeah,
up?
they increased a little bit. They did. They increased a little bit, and they'll increase again, next year. But the big thing, the big clock is in 2025. that's when a lot of things will be expiring for that season. And
Right.
people just need to just be conscious of that, get with, their tax preparer, their planner, their financial planner, and just be prepared for it because there are going to be some major changes if they don't renew the existing laws that are in place. And there's some good things that look like they'll be coming back, like the miscellaneous deductions that we haven't been able to deduct on our Schedule A. If you
Mhm.
itemize, that would be coming back if they choose to go ahead and let that expire. So that's a good thing because a lot of people have been working from home and hadn't been able to take advantage of that because of the new tax laws and the SALT law, where people were limited to like $10,000 for their real estate and state taxes. We were limited to a combined of 10,000. Again, that's set to expire, so now you can deduct the full amount, hopefully. So there are some good things that are coming back, but at the end of the day, income tax rates are scheduled to go up. So that's why it's important for people to plan.
Is it anything new that people can take advantage of from a tax break? I guess buying a new house. Is any advantage this year in buying a new house, or any really good tax breaks this year that people can be thinking about down the road?
I think there's some good things for some of the businesses that can take advantage of. It's not really necessarily new, but it's something that, like North Carolina had, adopted. Is where your business can actually pay your state taxes for you if you have an S corp or a partnership. If you have those type of entities, or then you can take and have your corporation. Business pay your state taxes. And the good thing about that is, um, like I said earlier, if you couldn't take all your deductions for your state taxes on your personal tax
Mhm.
return, you can take it on the business return. So that's been huge. That's a really good tax law that, especially for North Carolina. Um, because again, you can deduct it as a business deduction, even if you can't take it on your personal tax return. So that's pretty huge. And I've been, making sure my clients are aware of that. But as far as for, individuals, they've got some, credits out there if you're looking to purchase another car, like a electric car, a plug-in,
Mhm.
vehicle. They've got some really, really good credits, and they even have a credit for, it doesn't have to be new. It could be used, and so that's a credit that's really good. So if you were in the market for that for 2023, or and even for 2024, there are some really, really good credits, and credits are always good because the credits offset tax liability versus just reducing taxable income. So those are some credits. But other than that, to be honest, it's really not a whole lot for individuals,
Just
unfortunately.
just doing the things we've been done in the past. It sounds like a lot of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm excited about the shows this year.
Mhm.
I really appreciate the chamber co-hosting these things with me. I think we have some really in the past. If we think of them as I usually put them together in 6 month segments, and
Mhm.
if you think of them in 6 month segments, this is our sixth season. So we have we've covered a lot of different things in the last a couple years in doing these shows, and really, I really want to thank the chamber. You guys really do a good job of putting this thing together, and all the logistics that goes behind it. People don't understand it and even know how much goes behind it, but
Mhm.
it's a really good benefit for the community to kind of keep up what's going on. I just want to give a big shout out to the chamber and thank you guys for doing this again, at least in 2024 for sure.
Mhm. Well, again, we appreciate the opportunity, and like I said, continue to work with the town. So yes.
That's great, and we have some really great guests in the past, and I think this next few months we got some really great guests coming up. And tonight, I'm excited about our two guests that's coming on. One's from the high school, a leader in the high school, and another one is a leader in the community that works or actually volunteers and works with organization the Raleigh Moose Club, which is most people don't really know that, but it's right outside of town here. It's right down near Forestville Road,
Mhm.
and really excited to have them on.
Oh yeah. I like I mentioned probably earlier behind stage that I hadn't met Shawn, but I did have the chance to meet with Yvette, and I only met with her one time, but she definitely, I'm happy to see her on the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she's got going on.
Yeah, I see. I go to some of the events out there. The sports events at Rolesville High School is top notch, and I seen her on the sidelines and out there working some. So, but this was the first opportunity I had to actually sit down and talk to her. But
Mhm.
you can tell she brings a lot of excitement to the program. She got a lot of ideas, and you know, I think one of the tough things when people come into a new job, if the program is already successful, you got to just figure out how to make it more successful, and sometimes that's a real challenge. But I think she's the one to do it, and she's very excited about doing it for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, uh, Roseville is a great school, and I hope that the community continues to support it the way that it should be supported. So I'm excited to have her on.
I think she's ready. Let's bring her on if she's ready there, and we'll get moving. There she is. How you doing tonight? Good to have you on the show. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. Actually, I had the other athletic director. What was it? Tom, I think. Tom. What was it? Kirkland or something like that. Uh,
Kinkler.
Yeah, Klinkler. Yeah, he was on January, so I wanted to bring you on this January because I think as I was saying in Terry and I was talking, you got a lot of exciting things going on out there, and that's an exciting program when you think of Roseville High School sports and stuff like that. But kind of want to get to know you a little bit better, Coach. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
All right. Well, I have had the opportunity to live in a few states. But I grew up mostly in California, and I was there until 2004, and then I moved to North Carolina. I have family here, so I made that move, and I was here until I took an athletic director job in Virginia, and and then I moved back here this past spring. So I've always been around athletics as a student athlete. I participated in high school and in college, and then after that, got into coaching and really loved it. But I thought that I might be a better servant in a position behind the scenes. So I was looking for opportunities, and this one was available. And so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. I really excited about having you here and the programs that goes on out there. It's really great. So what do you find? You said you moved here from Virginia. I think I've been different
Mhm.
places, California. What do you find unique about Roseville? Anything unique about this area that do you enjoy living here? I guess is one of the main questions.
I do. I find that, when you get into smaller communities, they're a little bit more tight knit. And, and I do enjoy that because it allows me to have more conversations and to learn more about the community and feel like I'm actually a part of it as opposed to just a number.
Yeah. So how did you find us? Rolesville High School is Rolesville small. The high school is not really small though. I think when you think about the size of high schools in North Carolina, it may be in the top 10 or close to the top 10. But how did you come about Rolesville High School of all places?
I felt the need to move back to North Carolina to be closer to my family, and I started to look for positions, and it just so happened as I was looking, this one came up, and so I applied and kept my fingers crossed, and came out and interviewed, and really had a good time meeting with Mr. Perry, and at the time, Mr. Wheeler was. the assistant principal over athletics. And, I think we had 2 rounds of interviews, but each time I had an opportunity to kind of learn more about the community and the school. And so when Mr. Perry offered me the position, then I came.
Mhm. Yeah, and since you've been here, which I think is close to being a year now, maybe something close
Mhm.
to that. I know you weren't here last January, so it's been less than a year for sure. But what do you think about the program so far at Rolesville? The way they're structured, the success of them, the participation from the kids, all those things. What was your first take in the first year at being athletic director at Rolesville?
I think Coach Kink, my predecessor, had done a great job with putting together an athletic program. And, whenever you succeed someone, you figure out what works for you and what's in the best interest for the student athletes. And so, I think that also having a lot of coaches that were still here helps with the continuity with some of the programs that exist. And I'm excited because in the spring we have we finally gotten some coaches in some hard to fill positions, and waiting on one of them to pass through HR so that we can get ready for the spring sports. But I am very excited. Our booster club, got to give them a shout out. They're fantastic. We may not be mighty in numbers, but they're mighty in heart. And there has never been a need that athletics has expressed that they have not met. So I'm very thankful for them and all their hard work. I also have to give a plug though, because we need more participation in our booster club. So anybody that is interested, uh, please reach out to our Booster Club president, Mr. Drew Brown. I know that he would be very thankful and grateful for any additional help that could be given.
Yeah, I've had some contacts with them for several years now, and Drew, I know him well. He really puts his heart and soul into that in that work, and I don't know how long he's been booster president there. Maybe 2, 3 years at the least, if not longer than that. It's been a long ever since I can recall. Recently, he's been that, and you're right. Dating back when my kids was in high school back in 2010, 2011, and all. Uh, Booster clubs really makes a difference in the quality. It's really the quality that they can make a whole lot of difference in is the providing the financial needs for those quality programs. And when you talk about programs, high school athletic programs, you think about schools are there for academics. It's to get education, it's to teach the kids and all. But really, I think the sports when it's not just sports, but there's all things to ROTC, other curriculum activities. I really think sports and curriculum activities really, really is an important piece of high school and the kids' experience in high school and their education and kind of motivation. How do you see sports fitting into high school as a very much needed thing?
It's a cornerstone for a lot of things. Our student athletes and our students have the opportunity to learn leadership skills. Um, it helps, with scheduling. It helps with, following a chain of command. These are all things that you'll have to utilize, whether you go to college, whether you go into the, armed services, or whether you join the workforce immediately following high school. So I think that, athletics really help give our kids a different skill set that they might not be exposed to otherwise. They also learn, teamwork, and it helps them to also figure out, how do I deal with somebody if we don't agree? Can we agree to disagree? What do I need to do? Because this is my teammate right next to me, and we've still got to work together. So I think that there's a lot of different things that can be learned through athletics, and it also helps you learn that there's nothing wrong with being competitive, um, because it can help push you towards your goals.
hmm Yeah, I think most people that is not don't have kids in high school per se, or really not actively involved in high school and high school awareness. You think about the sport programs as football, basketball, baseball, softball type thing, but Rose Athletics is much bigger than that. I believe. How many programs do you actually have? Do you even know, Coach?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say that we have over 30. Um, and, you
That's
know,
amazing.
that's a lot of students. When you have 25 over, like you have 2,500 kids that go here, uh, there's a potential to have a lot of student athletes out here.
Yeah, that's amazing to have that many, and the logistics that go into bringing all those programs together. So is it hard to get actually coaches and teachers involved in? I don't, 30 programs. I think the football team has 10 coaches in itself, but or more. But how many people have? I mean, it's just a large group of people you take to coach and lead those kids in those many programs, is it not?
Yeah, our football program, I think, had 19 coaches out there.
Wow,
And
that's
then I think we have a lot of people that want to help. I just think that for whatever reason, HR moves a little slower than we'd like, but I think that happens in most places. But I'm just happy that we have community members and that want to volunteer, and that we have people that want to coach our students.
So can anybody coach? If you have a desire to coach, do you have to be a teacher or anything? Is anything you have to do to coach?
You don't have to be a teacher, but you do have to go online and fill out an application for the position that you'd like to hold. And even volunteers, there's a volunteer application as well. So they all have to go, the paperwork has to be submitted and go through the HR process. But, the more the merrier.
Yeah, I would think you wouldn't have any problem finding coaches, because whenever I go to games out there, it's like hundreds of coaches in the stands that that I believe you could get them out there on that field and see if they could do any better. They seem to think they can do better sometimes, but yeah. So I didn't know that. I didn't know if I know a lot of people in the working environment. They have jobs and things. That they grew up in playing a sport and know a lot of knowledge about it, and if they could help out. And I have had a couple of people I work with that work for me in my groups, that helps out coaching after work at high schools and stuff like that. So we'll put the feel out there. Maybe people that's interested can really help that. But coaching sound like coaching and the booster club is two really big needs that you guys can have some help with. What other things? What other things can the community pitch in to help your program?
I think that, we are getting ready to start spring sports. So I know that our spring sports teams will start fundraising for the different needs that they have within their respective programs. So, and they'll post it on their social media pages. So, when you have an opportunity to help us out and support us financially, it really helps. Because we want our student athletes to have what everybody else has too. And so it's a concerted effort between the school, the community, and the booster club to make sure that our kids have everything they need to get out there and be successful. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then support, we have a lot of teams that are going to be doing some good things and playing hard and representing us. And when they wear that Rolesville on their chest, it's not just for our high school, but it's also for our community. So any support by coming out to some ball games, and cheering on your neighbor, your relative, or just coming out to support the school would be fantastic.
Yeah. What do you try to I guess what makes you proud of your program? Is it just the wins, to build winning teams, or is it bigger than that? Is it more than that?
It's more than that. You can have successful teams, but we want to have successful kids that are going to end up being successful in life. And so we're really working hard to make sure that our students put that student athlete, the student part before athlete, and that they're working on their grades and their coursework and making sure that they have a plan for when they leave high school. Um, you know, Most kids play for the time that they're in high school. Some don't get the opportunity to play in college, some do, but even fewer have the opportunity to play professional. So we'll need to make sure that they have a plan for what they're going to do next so that they can be, a contributor to society in a positive way.
Yeah, and that's great because it's really important after high school, right? That's the whole purpose is getting them ready. And you mentioned something about and made me think about some of the alumni that's come through the sports program. And I think this year I am seeing some really successful alumni is in the college level, D1 level of college. So you guys are producing some folks that could possibly play professional sports. I don't know if Rose will have alumni that's in is in professional yet or not. I'm not sure, but I know there's some that's really playing, high level college football and other sports too.
Yes, and so that's exciting, especially for the kids that are currently playing, because as they look at what they might want to do, they can say, well, okay, this person from my community was able to be successful in this avenue. So, so that makes them believe that it may be possible for them as well.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I think I always really felt that the sports in high schools was important, and the people that really provide the leadership for that really do a great service. It's just not getting out there and telling them how to dribble basketball or just get out there and tell them how to catch a football or throw a football. It's more than that. It's a lot more than that. And I think my experience that what I've seen with Rolesville High School, you guys do a great job at all that stuff. But what would you leave the community, with? How can the community help you? Rolesville, the town of Rolesville, and others can help you as this 2024 year progress.
Like I said, I think that coming out and supporting, um, and then also making sure that, as we move forward, we want to model the behavior for our student athletes that that they should be using when they're at the games. So just to be mindful, to be positive when you come to the games.
Mhm.
You don't have to every call that the officials make. But use that as an opportunity to cheer our kids on in a more positive way, because they hear those things and they act accordingly.
Right. Well, I have to give it to the fans when I'm out there. They don't they're really for the kids' perspective, they're really positive for the kids. That's the big thing. Now I can't say the same thing for the refs and all. I know, I know they get a beating for sure. But from the kids, kids don't mess up. They're going to drop the ball. They're going to do something. And the fans, I've never heard the fans get out of line on that. But I see Terry back. Whenever Terry comes back, it really signaling us that we're getting short on time. So welcome back, Terry. This has been a good discussion we've had about the athletics at Rolesville High School. Did you have any questions? Any questions come in from the community?
Um, I didn't see any questions come through, but I did have one question for you, Yvette. And with you, being new in this role, I hope everybody's treating you well because I know you're doing an awesome job over there. But where do you see, the program, say, in the next couple of years under your leadership?
I see us growing our numbers in some of the sports where participation is lower. Um, I see us, getting it out there in the community and doing some more. I see our cumulative GPAs for our student athletes continue to rise. And, you know, I think that those are some key things, but, you know, as with anything, they take some time, but I really feel like we've got some kids that want to work hard and show us what they're made of in the classroom as well as on the field.
And about you, like I said, just growing, the program. I mean, that's how we met. You know, came by my office and said, hey, there's opportunity here, to help, grow our school. I think it's important for businesses to, participate and sponsor the school. I mean, at the end of the day, I've been here. Have my business here over 15 years now. And so I like to think that, I'm a staple in the community and, supporting another staple, which is the schools here. So again, I think that any business here, definitely get involved because having the whole support of the community for the school, it just builds that hometown pride, that school spirit, and that's what we need. I see a lot of that, at some of these other schools that we have in the area, and Rolesville High School deserves that even more. So I guess I'm putting a challenge to businesses out there to step up and support the school.
Well, and I'm thankful because we're still going to have you come out and talk to some of these CTE classes and business and accounting. So don't think I forgot.
I
But
know. I said just
so
give me a date, so I put it on the calendar. But like again, I love the kids. And like I said, they are our future. And like I said, Roseville High School definitely deserves the recognition that they bring and what they bring to the table.
yes, ma'am.
Certainly. Really, thank you for being on, Coach. Appreciate a lot. And I'll have to get you back on again, maybe first of next year. And it's just exciting. And I'm really glad you got to bring up the GPA thing because you guys, it's amazing. I was a little bit. I think it's a minimum the kids have to do to participate, and they're well above that. The average is so high out there. It's kind of amazing to me a little bit. So I appreciate you bringing it up. And thank you so much for coming on. If there's anything we can do to help you, reach out to us. And appreciate all you guys do. And give thanks to Coach Rackley and all of them out there that work so hard to be successful for the kids out there. So thanks a lot.
All right. You're welcome. And have a great night, y'all.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And Terry, she won't be coming back because she says she's working tonight. They got things going on out there, and I think some teaching going on. So she won't be coming back. So always working. That was great to have her on, I think.
Well, again, she definitely demonstrates all the efforts that teachers and coaches, these directors put in overtime. Like I said, she's on her way to another commitment for the school. So again, we need to support that and recognize that. So
yeah. The next guest we got coming on, there he is right there. The next guest. I met at some fundraiser event we had recently. I think it may do a car show or something like that. Maybe it was a chamber event. I'm not sure. But we ride by the Moose Club every time we go to Raleigh, and sitting there, and you never think about the work that they do. And I kind of learned over, at some of the events and all the tremendous amount of work they do out there. All volunteer work, just nonprofit. And Terry, you familiar with that nonprofit work that you do, and it just amazes me that the amount of work that goes on in the community of helping people and kids. And I think the Moose Club has a lot to do with kids, and good to have Shawn on. Anything you want to say to introduce yourself, Shawn?
Thank you, Mayor and Chamber of Rolesville, for letting me represent the lodge. We got right now 400 plus members at the Raleigh Moose Family Center. Thank you.
Yeah, good to have you on. Let's talk about you a little bit. You got some connections with the community, I think. tell me about your bio and your history with Rolesville.
I used to
Like the
come down.
Rolesville community.
I came down and visit my dad because I grew up in Ohio originally, and I used to come down and visit every year. And then '89, I ended up moving down here for 2 years. So '89 and '90, I actually went to Wake Forest Rolesville High School for 2 years. And then after I graduated, moved back down here, got into an EMT class, and got onto actually Rolesville EMS in 1992, 93.
Gotcha. Yeah, you mentioned Wake Forest Rolesville High School. We used to call it WFR.
Yep, WFR.
WFR. So did you play football there or any sports?
I did not. I was actually in the marching band. I did soccer, and I was actually on the first wrestling team in 1990 at WFR.
Cool. So the Moose Lodge, tell me a little bit about, you said it's the family Moose Lodge. Tell me a little bit about, your purpose, your organization. Was this thing just formed a few months ago, years ago? Just how?
No, sir. Our charter actually here at the Raleigh Lodge actually started in downtown Raleigh. It was formed on July 4th, 1918. So we're 106 years old now. This
and
past
you want the charter member there?
I won't even thought of. But it moved from downtown Raleigh to Knightdale for a short period. Then they bought this property in the early 80s and built this building that we're currently still hosting it.
I think it's been there ever since I can ever remember. And I've lived here since 1991. And it used to be nothing out there.
Right.
Before those shopping centers, Barsville Crossing and all, and that huge development behind the Moose Lodge there. Before that, it was just out there by itself in the country, two-lane road. And so it's been out there a long time, over 30 years then.
Yep. And we are one of 47 Moose Lodges in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, and that was amazing to me a little bit. I would thought they would have clubs, throughout the county. Some organizations do. If you think of some of the other things like I don't know, I don't want to name one, but they may have one in Wake Forest and one in Rolesville and everywhere else. But the Moose Lodge has got one Moose Club in the whole county. Is that right?
In Wake County, we are the only Loyal Order of the Moose Club private organization, nonprofit here in Raleigh. Yes. We are listed as the Raleigh Moose Lodge, but we actually have a Wake Forest address.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you have members throughout the county then, probably.
Throughout the county. Some people actually cross the county line just to come to this one because it's actually closer to them to come here than it would be to go to another lodge that's in their area.
Yeah, the reason I brought you on, one of the things I want to talk about was some of the good stuff you guys got going on from sort of charity, helping out people. And like I said, I think I met you at the car show here in Rolesville a few months ago, and you was working with stuff from some kids stuff. So what is some of the things, what is some of the service items you guys do at the club?
The main two things that we do is we have two main ones. One is for Moose Heart, which is a school at Moose Heart, Illinois. We bring in kids either a tragedy in the family, and we find out before social services does, or maybe the child's going down the wrong path and the family's having a hard time. From all ages, from newborns to 12th grade. We bring them in. We help them get an education, and the ones that want to, they can work on getting scholarship. We also offer them scholarships to go to college and stuff like that. And then recently, in the last couple of years, they've worked on a program where they could stay on campus to help the other ones too before they could actually find where they want to do. Our other one is Moose Haven for our senior members that have retired. We have a place down in Orange Park, Florida, where they can live from independent to high-end care nursing facility. It's a big, humongous campus. Got a nice fishing pier, all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's the two main cores that we work with.
Yeah, and I guess that's the national level organizations. It sounds like the things that
Right.
all moose clubs throughout the nation works together on.
One of the things when I met you at the night out with Rolesville PD was we have a computer for kids IDing that we purchased through a company called Safe Surfing in Virginia it's not just for kids though. It's also good for seniors, especially if they have Alzheimer's or something like that, to where we put all that information on the child or person, whoever, on a thumb drive, give it to the family member. And so if a tragedy does happen, they could take that to the police and say, I got their information. Please help me.
Mm-hmm. Everything you need, the police needs to fill out forms and to get the
correct
started there.
It's got the fingerprints, pictures, and everything.
Yeah. And you never think about that sometimes. You never really think about, what if, and if it's what if, then what I need to give to the police officers and stuff. So that's a really good thing. I think one of the things, you talked about the two main things, but I think one of the things I found out about your club locally is so many things that you guys do on a small level, helping the community out with all sorts of things, right?
That is correct. Like it's during mid-October to right before Christmas, we did our turkey shoot fundraiser, which we did sold. They bought chances to win food, breakfast packs, and stuff like that. All those proceeds went towards our angel tree. And then it also helped us offset our costs for when we did our senior luncheon that Sunday before Thanksgiving every year when we open up our building and invite everybody to come out to have a Thanksgiving dinner with other people.
Yeah. I think I didn't grow up with internet, as you can probably tell with my hair color and stuff like that. I didn't grow up with internet, and I think internets could be very dangerous for young people.
It is.
I do some work around that, don't you? Something to do with internet.
With Safe Surfing, one of the kids that was found, we actually did some research after we had our talk the other night. It's called the Vicki Johnson story. Search Mother Story on YouTube. It's called Mother Story, and the girl's name was Vicki Johnson. And that is one of the girls that was helped saved because of Safe Surfing with the Kids ID.
Well, that's great, because really I got another person in the community. We're working together with some internet education type things, I think, because really that's out there. I mean, everybody got cell phones and internets and stuff, and just really, I mean, I get things all the time, and I look at them, I say, I'm almost 100% this is fake, and probably most of the things you get are more fake than it is real on internets and surfing and stuff like that. But you even help like daycare centers and stuff.
We could set up times to go into daycares and do that, and not just daycares, nursing homes.
Mm-hmm.
We could do both sides,
right? The
young and the old. It doesn't really matter.
That's a good service. But also y'all help other organizations. I understand, like maybe EMS.
I actually work full-time for Wake County EMS. I started in Rolesville 93, 94, and stayed with Rolesville. Then Rolesville merged with Eastern Wake. And then when I was at Eastern Wake, I went part-time Wake County, and I'm actually still a full-time employee with Wake County EMS, and I'm actually behind the scenes sort of with Wake County EMS doing logistics. I go around and do inventory of stations to make sure they have the supplies that they need.
So So what do you how do you get people to give you funds? What is your main fundraising
We
strategy?
do. I mean, sometimes we'll do our fish fries, our barbecue chicken cooks, or fried chicken cooks. Different. Some people come by and just donate money to us.
Uh-huh. And
We
I
do a
guess
lot. We do a lot of raffle baskets. Like it could be like a barbecue basket, or we get stuff together and make baskets and stuff like that.
got you. Um, what is I guess what's the biggest challenge? When you think about all the things you're trying to do, what's the biggest challenge you have to face as an organization? You are still growing. Some organizations have stopped growing pretty much, but I think you guys are still growing and everything's working out. Looks pretty successful in 2024 in the future.
It does. Right now, we're growing fast, and we may be trying to get an architect out here one day, maybe to finally say, "Hey, what can we do to this building to blow it out, or either go out or up with it?" That's
Okay.
that.
Okay. So do you have a building? You got a building committee and all that stuff looking
We
at.
we, we actually currently have a 5-year committee going on right now, so we could try to figure out where we're at now. Where do we want to be in 5 years? We've been working on that pretty hard, and every committee it's got little bumps in the roads here and there, but we're hanging on.
So you were talking about, I think you said around 400 members now, somewhere
We're
along.
roughly right around 400 members right now.
And what would be a good number? What do you have a goal that you're shooting for
We haven't really set a number. We really haven't set a number. I know right now I would love to see if we're at like our fiscal year goes from May to May, May 1st till April, the end of April. So at the end of April, I would love to be sitting at 440. Be a good number for us.
Mhm. Yeah, I would think Wake County, biggest county in the state of North Carolina, more people than any county in the state now. Um, the sky's the limit. I mean, probably your limitation is your building and your facilities and how you reach out to them. And
May take out some more trees, make more parking. That could be another thing.
yeah, that's right. And you're in Raleigh, so they don't protect trees over there. But we'll talk
Well,
about that another day.
technically, we're in Wake Forest, though.
You in Wake
Yeah.
Forest? Got you.
And the funny thing is, when you leave our driveway, you go through the township of Rolesville, touch a little bit of Wake Forest, and then you got City of Raleigh around on the left side, and then back into Rolesville, then back into Wake Forest on the right hand side.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You have to go get into the parking lot there for
Yeah.
sure. I see Terry's back. Terry she's the one that moderates and keeps us on track. And I tell you, time flies, Shawn. What
It
is it you
does.
want to leave? Anything you want to leave with the people, or Terry? Did you get any comments, any questions for anybody to share?
Um, I did not see any in the comments, but I have questions.
I'll try to answer them for you, Terry.
Yeah. And I don't know if you had mentioned it, and I apologize if I didn't hear it. But how do you become a member of the Moose Lodge?
You
Or,
can come by. Any current member can sponsor you. There is a sponsorship,
Mhm.
and then everything goes good. You could be a member, and it's technically initially it's $70 for initial membership. Then after that, it's $50 a year.
Okay. And then you said something when you first came on. You said that you were from Ohio,
Originally from Ohio, yes, ma'am.
right? Wow, because I'm from Ohio, so I just was
Okay.
wondering what city.
I grew up in Medina.
Okay, I know where that's at. I'm from. That's probably maybe about 40 minutes, I think, away from Youngstown. So
I know where Youngstown's at.
we're neighbors. Okay, we're
That's right.
family.
That's right.
So
Move
yes,
one place to another.
That's
yeah.
right.
Um,
But it's great. Shawn, is there anything you want to leave with the community? Anything you want to reach out to the community can help you with? Anything really urgent going on that you'd like for everybody to know?
We're good right now. If anybody wants to know our address, it's 2824 Forestville Road, Wake Forest, North Carolina. Come out of Rolesville, hang a right on Forestville Road. We're the first driveway on the left.
Yep. Yeah, you actually face 401, but you can't get. They got a fence in front of you, don't they?
Yeah, they got that DOT fence in there. What's left of it when cars keep on going through it.
Yep. So you can't. I think it used to have a driveway in the front, but maybe didn't. But I think
It did way before my time, and the old board of officers back in the day actually paid the state for a right in, right out onto our property, but we just haven't looked at grading and trying to do all that investing yet.
Yeah, because it was just a 2-lane. But great having you on. This has been a great show. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And we're neighbors, so just come up here anytime. Appreciate that. Like to see you at some more events we got coming up. We'll have quite a few events this year, won't we, Terry?
Yeah.
And
we're lining them up.
And we'll talk about some of those now. Do you want to run? We're running short on time, Terry. You want to run? You want to run through some things for us?
Okay. So I think one of the first events that we have coming up is the breakfast with the veterans. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong calendar here. Let's see, go back here. Hold on. The open house with the town of Rolesville Main Street project, and that's on January 23rd. And then we have the veterans meetup, coffee with the veterans at Arise co-working space. That is scheduled it's scheduled every third Saturday of the month, so that is a monthly event. We've got a salute to the servicewomen, and that is going to be held on March 3rd of this year. And I'm not sure where that's at. The background looks like it's at a town hall, but I'm not 100% sure exactly where that's going to be. But that is on March 3rd coming up. And then we've got one of our business after hours. It looks like it's a collective one with a few of the sponsors, and that's going to be held on January 25th at the Hatch from 5:30 to 7:30. We have another ribbon cutting event on one of our newest workout facilities here, Workout Anytime. Haven't been over there, but I plan to get over there. So, but that's scheduled for January 27th at noon on Monday.
Yeah, if you look at me after the Christmas holidays and stuff, Terry, I probably need to run over there and check that place out. Probably,
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And then we've got the Roseville Downtown Development Association. I think that's a foundation here, and that's scheduled for January 30th. They have a reception and information session again, January 30th between 4:30 and 7 p.m. We have our quarterly breakfast. That was an event that we had brought back last year, and we're continuing that on. And I believe it's also that's on Thursday, February 1st from 8 to 9 a.m. And then it's also a orientation for our new members. So, and then one of our bigger events that's coming up for the chamber is our annual dinner and awards banquet. And we are going Western style. So the theme is, like I said, the Western. We're looking to wear our hats and our cowboy boots. And so we're excited about that. That's scheduled for February 22nd on a Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. And that will be at the Renaissance Center in Wake Forest.
Yeah, that's always a really good event there, the annual event for that. Did that move up a month? Has always been in February? I remember it was later in the year.
So actually, it has always been around February. Due to COVID and us bringing that back, and we just decided this year to get back on track. So we're actually back to where we usually have it, which is in February. So yeah.
Gotcha. So, but last year it was later in the year, wasn't it?
Right, we had it in April last year, because I think the year before we had it in August, and so we're just getting back on track.
Gotcha.
And then also we're trying to be conscious of making sure that people would be able to attend, more attendance, and so that looked to be a better month. But yeah, we've always had it a little earlier in the year.
Gotcha.
And then our next event that we have, again, that was a new event that we started doing in 2023, is the Women's Leadership Brunch. That's scheduled for March 9th on a Saturday. So
Mhm.
I think they've already started selling tickets. I think tickets are available. Last year we sold out.
Mhm.
So if you're interested, it's a great opportunity to get and network. So again, if you haven't got your ticket, I believe they're available now. So go online and get
Yeah.
them ordered.
I heard a lot of good things about the last one, the first one, actually the first and last one, the only one last year. And sometimes it takes a couple years or so to get some type of event going, and over a period of time. But this one was successful from the start, sell out and everything. I think so. It's a well attended, well done event, I believe.
Yeah, and I think even before that, Arise has done some, women leadership type brunches as well. That was very successful. So it seems like when we have things that are geared to the women, they step up and they come out. So we're looking forward to this year's event as well. So.
Mhm.
And then we're always encouraging, if you have a business and when we have these events, if you have marketing materials, to please, get it to us. We'll be more than glad to put them in our swag bags to get them to, local businesses and individuals as well.
Right. Good. Yeah, well, we started off the show, Terry, talking about 2024 year and excited
Mhm.
about what's coming up. And as you can see, those things you went over just the first month or so, we got a lot of exciting things coming up, a lot of good things coming up, and we'll just end by just giving a plug for the next month's show. Our next show is February the 8th. And
Mhm.
next month is Black History Month. And I'm dedicating the next show to that. So our guest for next segment is one guest is Tony DeRico. Some of you may know Tony. He's the president of the Wendell Wake County branch of NAACP. I've talked to him a few times. We've had lunch a few times over the past 2 or 3 years, and there's a fantastic guy. They got a lot of good things going on, also, and really excited to have him on. And then the other one is kind of an icon in our community here, Sigmund Zika, and she's an officer of several organizations that do with minority organizations. One of them is the National Council of Negro Women, and there's a lot of other things that she works with, and we're just excited to have those great guests next month, and kind of looking forward to that show, and hope everybody puts that on their calendar. And if you would go ahead and put the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock on your calendar, and we already got the lineup to July 1 already. Some great guests coming on, and some great things to learn about the community, and just excited about what we got going on. To me, this is a great community to live in, Terry, and we just do what we can to give back to it, and
Right,
we all work hard on that.
right. And that's the second Thursday that you're on,
What did I
correct?
say? Tuesday?
Tuesday. Hmm.
I'm thinking about town board meetings and stuff. You're exactly right.
And you got a lot going on,
Yeah,
but
you're
yeah.
exactly right.
Um,
Yeah, come to our town board meetings on Tuesday nights, but the mayor show is. I'll go. Let's go ahead and put a plug in for town board meetings. We have meetings the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday, and then we have the mayor show on the second Thursday of the month. So we got something about every week you can get involved in with the community and the town
mhm,
stuff. So
yeah.
hope you kind of do that. Put those things on your calendar for 2024 if you would.
Hmm. Well, yeah,
Great.
definitely. I'm looking to forward to all your guests, especially for next month. I know Sigma, and she is just a wealth of knowledge, and so I'm looking
She
forward to
is.
that. Hmm.
She is. I found out. I've been knowing her. I don't know how long, a long time. but I found out she does a lot of traveling and stuff, and
Mhm.
and it's fantastic. You could do that. It's
Mhm.
really fantastic, and I hope one day, I'll be able to do more of that, and
Right.
something to look forward to. I
Right.
don't think 24. We got a busy 24 coming in, so probably won't do a lot of traveling. But when she travels, she travels. She goes for a while. It's not a weekend trip. It's a nice trip when she goes traveling.
Again, she is a wealth of knowledge, and so I'm looking forward every time I have a conversation with her. It's always very enlightening.
Mhm.
So yeah. Hmm.
Sure enough. So Terry, thank you for being the co-host tonight. Great job. Appreciate that. Always good to see you and all the little people working in the background to keep us going. And one of them that's going to be helping us doing producing is one of your new members at the chamber. That's helping you guys that y'all just brought on. So if you
Hmm.
want to say a little word, introduce him tonight before we close, and then you can just close us out.
Yeah. Yes, we have a new director of member services. It's Philip Carter. He started early December. Want to say hello?
There he is. Hey, Philip, we got him muted.
You're muted.
I unmuted myself, but not the camera. Hey, good to see everybody. Happy Thursday. Good to be here. Great show tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you.
you.
So we'll just leave everybody to next time.
All
Same
right.
place, same
Thank
time.
you.
See you next month. Thank you,
All
everybody.
right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye bye.
Y'all have a great month.
You too.